If you love going to a chaotic environment in order to find the best deals ever on different kinds of items, clothing, and home decor, as well as electronics, the Goodwill outlet is the place for you. Personally, I love doing that kind of stuff. I think the more chaotic the venue is, the better the deals, and the better the items that you can find at the venue. So whenever I see a really, really busy and kind of messy Goodwill outlet like this one is, I absolutely adore it, and I know that I'm going to get a really, really good deal. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe for more content like this. I make a ton of videos of me going to Goodwill outlets and different kinds of thrift stores and grocery stores. I'm just looking for a really good deal because in this economy, everybody needs a really good deal. So subscribe if you want to see me trying to find the best deals and sharing that with you guys. The Goodwill outlet has become my go-to place for finding different kinds of clothing items, different kinds of home decor items, different electronic items if I'm looking for new electronic items that aren't like brand new laptops. Basically, I go to the Goodwill outlet or a thrift store in general for everything these days because nobody can afford new clothes or new like anything anymore. Like the prices have just become outrageous. On this day, I was looking for jeans as I always do. I feel like whenever I make a video of me going to Goodwill outlet, I'm almost always looking for jeans. The reason is because I just really like wearing different styles of jeans. I love boot cut jeans, skinny jeans, mom jeans, every kind of jean I just adore. So I always am looking for new jeans and new kinds of different things to wear with different outfits. I was also looking for different kinds of shirts and stuff because we are going into the spring and the summer, and I feel like it would just be super cute to have a new-ish kind of wardrobe for the spring and summer. That's something that I like to do. Now, one thing that I am trying to be more mindful of this year is just not spending money when I don't need to be spending money, and making sure that everything that I do buy brings me joy as well as is something that I actually need. So you might look at this cart and be like, whoa, she's buying a lot, but don't worry, I go through this really insane process of like 4 or 5 times of like perusing through the items that I pick out, and if I like the item after that 4 to 5 times of like looking through stuff, then I'll buy it, and if I don't, then I won't like actually buy it. It is like a pretty involved process, but whenever I go to the Goodwill outlet, I'm there typically for like 4 or 5 hours. Like I'm there for a really, really long time. So it does work out, and it helps me save a lot of money and be more mindful of what I am purchasing, which is something that I encourage everybody to do because I think that being mindful of what you buy is just super important, and you're not being wasteful whenever you do that. So that is the way that I manage to curb my cart aesthetics and make sure that I'm not buying too many things. Most of the time, I leave the Goodwill outlet with just a couple of really good items that I actually do like a lot, and that's entirely because of my system where I pick out something that I kind of like, put it in my cart, then keep shopping. Every bin or so, I look through my cart again, throw back whatever I don't like, and keep it moving. At the end, I'll go through everything and I'll just say, does this bring me joy, and will it bring me joy in 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, etc. And if it's something that doesn't bring me joy, or I don't anticipate bringing me joy in a certain amount of time, I just don't buy it. And to me, that is so helpful for making sure that I'm not overbuying anything. That is like the biggest thing whenever I go to the Goodwill outlet. Now, they had a bunch of different clothing items this day. Literally, it was just full of clothing items. So many things. I was a little astonished because most of the time Goodwill outlets have a lot of clothing items. I'm not going to say that they don't, but they also have a lot of different kinds of stuff, like a lot of decor items. I buy so many different kinds of house decor every time I move to a different apartment, mainly because I go to a Goodwill outlet for the explicit purpose of buying decor items. I don't believe in buying buying brand new decor items for the most part. I will buy brand new soft furniture like mattresses or couches, but anything other than that, like harder items that can be desanitized and cleaned really well, I will never buy new. It's just not me, and it's not something that I'm like raised to do either. I also really love like different kinds of sweatshirts and different kinds of shirts like that. So I was looking at all of the different sweatshirts. I did end up seeing this Paris, France one, and I kind of loved it because I've always wanted to go to Paris, and I felt like taking it would be something that is nice, just like an aspirational thing. I was looking through the other stacks for different kinds of clothes. Now they had a lot of different stuff, and a lot of it is not in my size, so I was not able to get quite everything that I wanted to, but it was pretty cool still seeing all of the different stuff. And one thing that I really love about the Goodwill outlet is that it gives me so much inspiration for new kinds of outfits too, because you literally have so many different kinds of styles and aesthetics represented in the bins. You can find stuff like that's more emo, more goth, more preppy, more stylish, more like collegiate, academic. Whatever you want is really available at the Goodwill outlet. You will have to do some digging, but for the most part, that's how I get different kinds of aesthetics and stuff. And it's not just true for the Goodwill outlet, it's definitely true for every single kind of thrift store. I really love going to different kinds of thrift stores and exploring the racks and racks of clothing items just to see how I can make my wardrobe a little bit fresher and work with items that I already have to show a different aesthetic. That's something that I've just enjoyed doing ever since I was very little, changing up my aesthetic with whatever clothing items I do have. I also have so many different clothing items as it is right now that I was like, I don't want to buy too many things. I just want to get a couple of things for like the new seasons, and as well as for like spring and summer, and the new like season, it being warmer, all of that kind of stuff is why I went, but I did not buy too many things. I did notice that they had a lot of like end of season kind of sweaters and stuff, and I love a good sweater, but again, I practiced mindfulness and I was like, do I actually need a sweater? And the answer to that was no. I have so many sweaters, so many hoodies, so many jackets in general that I was like, I do not need it. My kids will probably be able to use my sweaters and jackets and hoodies. That's how many I have. So I did not pick up any of those. I saw this really cute flannel top. I love flannel. It's one of my favorite like fabrics and fabric styles in general. I think a good fabric is like something that has a lot of different checkered patterns and a lot of just like cozy vibes, and I think that flannel definitely is both of those things. I also really love stripes in general. I have so many different kinds of clothing items with stripes. I literally live in stripes, and I know that stripes aren't necessarily the most flattering on most people, but I don't care. Even if something is not necessarily the most flattering, I will still wear it if I really like it, and that's something that I am also practicing this year in general. I want to be more in the moment and not care what others think of me, and I think that wearing the clothing items that I really like, even if they're not the most flattering, is the best way to go about doing that. So when I saw that they had all of these stripy different clothes, I was like, ooh, maybe I will pick up some of them. I did not though, because of the mindfulness thing that I have been practicing. That is all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe for more, and I will see you next time. Bye!